Dr. Sunny Fridge. Welcome to another edition of Rise and Shine with Dr. Sunny. Season 2 is dedicated to helping you unleash your inner speaking superpowers. Each week you get tips, tools, and techniques to help you become a better communicator. On this edition of Rise and Shine, how to leverage your skills, time, and network using Zoom technology. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, share in the comments below where you're watching from. If you're listening by podcast, please subscribe so you never miss a show. I believe everyone has a purpose and the potential to live their best life. As we continue to adjust to social distancing during the coronavirus pandemic, many speakers and entrepreneurs are discovering the benefits of Zoom. It's a video conferencing platform for connecting with others when we can't meet or hold an event in person. Now, when it comes to productivity, connection, and transforming others, my guest says Zoom has been her choice for nearly a decade. Marquesa Petway is a former CNN producer. She's an award-winning speaker and leading authority on business reinvention for service-based entrepreneurs. Welcome, Marquesa.
Thank you, Dr. Sunny. I'm excited to be here.
And we are so excited to see you, Miss Zoom Queen, as I have come to know you. I am so happy you're here at this particular time. Now, you're a Dallas, Texas native, and you now live in New York. I grew up in New York. My 3 sisters and family live there. How are you coping?
Well, you know what? It can be depressing watching the news to hear that our city is in such a terrible way in this whole COVID situation. However, just like our governor says, we are strong. We've been through it all. And if anybody can handle it or any city can handle it, it's New York City.
That's right. I'm just rooting for you, Big Apple. Now, Marquesa, you have a few designations behind your name and you have a business. Just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes. Well, I moved to New York. It's funny we mentioned that. I moved to New York right out of college. Worked in television news for a few years with CNN until I realized I didn't like TV. That can be an issue. Or I like TV, just not business news side. Right. Then was in corporate America for actually almost a decade, AT&T corporate. Then I got downsized, and that's when I became a professional speaker. And I have to tell you, after touring the country, speaking every single day, I realized, oh my goodness, I'm getting fat. I don't see people ever. It's like I go from hero to zero on a daily basis. And what I mean by that is I'm speaking to an audience and I'm having a great time for literally 6 hours. Then I hop in my car and I drive to my next city. I would do about 4 or 5 presentations every single week. And I did this for 4 years. So I consider it my boot camp. Which was my entryway into the professional speaking business. But while I was on the road speaking, I said, okay, this is fantastic, but this is certainly not for the long term. What can I do to create? I work for myself after all. What can I do to create a business of my dreams? So I came up with the term speakerpreneur. Yes, I did. And I had to pretty much get a crash course through what it meant to be an entrepreneur. And for any of your listeners, speakers, it's an independent business and you still got to market, sell, brand, promote everything just like everybody else. And so while I was on the road with the seminar companies, I really mastered this and I created the National Center for Speaker Training. And within the National Center for Speaker Training, I help entrepreneurs create virtual income streams. When I say virtual income streams, I mean, I want a mastermind, high 6-figure mastermind. I want a membership group. I want a group coaching program. I want to do a virtual event. That's what I teach. And my members spend a minimum of 90 days with me. We meet every single Tuesday to learn how to create that income stream. Now, you mentioned Zoom Queen earlier, and that sort of became an accident, Dr. Sunny, because in order for me to do all of these masterminds and membership groups and meet with folks, I had to choose the platform. And I did all the other platforms, but when I met Zoom, it was love at first sight. I said, oh my goodness, if Zoom was a man, I'd be married by now. I'm serious. I was so excited. So I literally Dr. Sunny, I don't even use the phone. What's that? My parents, I will talk to them via FaceTime. And outside of that, I barely use the phone except for to check messages or something. but I use Zoom. If someone wants to meet with me, client, colleague, they know some of my family members to plan my 50th birthday in Houston. I made my cousin, and he still complains about it to this day, get on a Zoom with me. Why? Because it's a productivity tool. I can share my screen, I can record it, I can get the transcription. So I've been doing this Zoom has been around for 11 years. I met Zoom about 8 years ago. So I know it better than most people. And now the world seems to be turning to me, which I feel very privileged, because if I can help, if this is the purpose that God gave me, I'm here for it. And so now I'm doing Zoom training out the wazoo. That's pretty much my business in a nutshell.
And you have reinvented hundreds of happy speakerpreneurs, your trademark name, which I love. I admire you for that, because besides being entrepreneurs, many people have a speaking business. So how do you help them?
This is one thing I always say that I do. And this is where the business reinvention piece comes in. I take you from being a regular entrepreneur to being a speakerpreneur. And speakerpreneurs have the gift of gab, but we don't just gab, we transform. And we transform, either we help people communicate better, we help people be better customer service, to have people be better leaders, more productive. There's a slew of things that we can do. And so I help entrepreneurs take that and create a speaking business around it. And I do that again by focusing on one income stream at a time. And I take that income stream through several different steps, from who are you serving, how are you serving them, what's your charging plan, what's your expertise plan, how will you market it, how will you sell it, how would you brand it. It's all these different pieces that I take them through, and we do that underneath my academy. Now, you asked about the certifications earlier. CSP, that's something you have to earn. That's Certified Speaking Professional. It's awarded by the National Speakers Association, and it means that I have earned a minimum of $50,000 a year in my speaking business. There's a minimum, so I've earned much more, and you have to do that over several years. Plus, your colleagues must also evaluate you and your stage skills. So it's a really important designation, and I'm happy to say that I'm the the second person in New York to ever get this designation, New York City, and the only Black woman. And so I'm proud of that.
Well, look, as I like to say,
in New York City, that is.
That's right. Look, high five, I don't use any type of cleanser after that, but girl, you go, girl. Awesome.
And I know you are a Toastmaster, Dr. Sunny.
Yes, I got
I'm a DTM.
Yes, I got my DTM in July. I'm really
Congratulations.
It would probably be so much harder right now, because they're also in transition because of the coronavirus. They're now have to take all of their meetings online, and even the contest. So we are in a very much learning stage right now, but I'm really privileged that I'm able to be at the top with helping them, because I was online with speaking clubs for the past year and a half. So it's a lot easier for me to now explain, how do you mute and unmute, and how do you chat, and how do you speak, and how do you pin the timer, all things you need to know when you're a Toastmaster now. So thank you very much. And, we're talking about the Zoom platform. So how has it become a game changer for the professional speaker, especially at a time when the coronavirus has impacted and changed every aspect, or touched it, at least every aspect of our life?
Oh boy, has it. And I love that you said specifically the professional speaker, because the world is using it. I mean, you got entertainers doing concerts on it. My church, met on it. So, and my Weight Watchers, you mentioned Toastmasters. Just imagine Weight Watchers, that also has a lot of clubs. I'm meeting my Weight Watchers club on Zoom. But for the professional speaker, it's a game-changing tool. And this is my advice. If you are a professional speaker, or speaking is a big part of your business, and you're thinking, okay, where should I start? One of the things you want to do is learn the basics of Zoom. What are kind of what you mentioned, Dr. Sunny? What are some of the basic things? You can always go to zoom.us and click on their FAQs and tutorials, just for some of the simple basic things. I also offer this in my program specifically for speakers, experts, and coaches. But that's one place you want to start, is you want to understand, because there's so many possibilities. Here's a key question that I want you to think about that's outside, because I'm all about being strategic with everything that I do. the key question is, what type of virtual experience do I want to give my clients? What type of virtual experience do I want to give my clients? And that virtual experience will vary. You may decide, I want to do a workshop. And during this workshop, I want to do hot seats. I want to do discussions. I want to do Q&A. I want to do a deep dive. I want to do a round robin, and the list goes on. But really think about the experience. Now, when it comes to experience, the first question is, what's the virtual meeting type you want to go with? So I'm going to give you a few. Workshop is one. That's usually you're meeting 3 hours or less. And people are doing actual work, Dr. Sunny. You know, literally they're muting themselves out, and maybe you're giving them something to do. Maybe you're putting them in a breakout room and you're saying, hey guys, for the next 20 minutes, I want you to accomplish X, Y, and Z. One of my clients that I serve as a Zoom producer for asked me to break out 3,000 attendees on Zoom into different meeting rooms. Yes. And of course we had to design the whole thing, but their goal is to do a full day seminar. Seminar means you're going to do probably more than 3 hours. Here's a rule of thumb. Oh, I love my speakers, and I know that we love to speak, and a lot of us are keynotes. And when it comes to speaking, that's our thing. That's our sweet spot. But I'd like you to now virtualize it. And I'd like you to now take that same messaging and say, how can I break it down around being interactive? Because I do not just want to show up and be a talking head. That is really important. So if you have a 45-minute keynote, knock it down to 30 minutes, but figure out where can I pause so that I can interact with the audience and make sure that they're with me. Now, if you do want to do a full fledged production, or you're like, nope, I want to do my full keynote, then I would recommend you do Zoom webinar where you can do the full production. So again, different types: think tank, retreat, keynote production, which is what I just described, or simple VIP strategy. Those are just some of the virtual meeting types. Then I would ask myself, what are some of the engagement choices? And I went through those earlier with the hot seats discussion, so on and so forth. And the best part of it all, Dr. Sunny, is there are Zoom features that will allow you to do that. So for example, hot seats. Everyone knows what a hot seat is, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say that you have 50 people on a Zoom and you want to put one person in the hot seat. And I do this with my members all the time. They're in a hot seat and this is their chance to ask whatever question they want. I will use the spotlight feature of Zoom, because it makes their video bigger than anybody else's. Now, some people may say, well, isn't that pen? Pen is something that an individual user uses. And this is where, like Dr. Sunny during her session, she may say, well, I know Marquessa is speaking, but I want to highlight this person over here. Okay. So it kind of goes on with depending. So each way of engagement, there is a matching feature that will help. And then the last thing is that I would ask you to think about the different roles that you want to play. And in the world of professional speaker, we're speakers, we're trainers, we're facilitators, we're coaches, we're producers, we're MCs. That is the beauty and the life of the virtual meetings. And so I invite you, and Dr. Sunny can ask me about it towards the end. There's a cheat sheet where you can kind of download some of this stuff and see where you fit in. And I give you some little tips to make it a little bit easier.
Wonderful. You just laid it down for us. I love it. One other thing that I wanted to remind myself to ask you, you say it's your knowledge, your circle, and your mindset that shapes your results. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
It's your knowledge, your circle, and your mindset. Oh my goodness. This is so true. I'll give you an example. We were just talking about Zoom and virtual meetings and how it's a game changer for speakers. There are several speakers, some that are my colleagues, that literally had to face the fact that they lost a ton of engagements on their calendar. One of them is, and this is public, Jason, and he used to be a Las Vegas performer. Now he's a big time keynoter, and he's part of the Speaker Hall of Fame. And so just imagine, he had about, I don't know, 7 or 8 engagements, lots of money that was on his calendar for the remainder of 2020. Now, after losing all those engagements, and he even admitted, Marquessa, 2019 wasn't the greatest year for me, but I worked hard in that year in setting up 2020. So he was all excited. Now, I remember when he posted on Facebook, wow, I can't believe day after day, and this is when it first hit, the whole COVID virus first hit in early March, he mentioned oh my goodness, what a day. I got all these cancellations, some reschedules, but it's all gone. Mm-hmm. I'm devastated. It was, so part of mindset is being honest and acknowledging your feelings. The other part of mindset is, and this is what Jason showed us, is he turned around, his very next message was, but guess what? Now is my chance to serve my clients in a different way. I still exist. I just can't be with you in person. I love the stage. I love the energy that the stage brings me. But now let me just shift it in person. So in this whole environment, whether you're on Zoom or not, mindset is everything. It really is. And I live in New York. I'm in the center of everything that's happening. And I mean, it's terrifying to turn on the news and hear more people that have died anywhere. But New York, we have it bad. I can look at it one way or the other. I can either sit up here and live in fear and say, oh my gosh, I think it was a quote that came out in the news that said, I don't know if our governor said this or someone else said this, but they said 80% of New Yorkers will get this. I can either sit up here and go, okay, it's a matter of time, I'm terrified, or I can say it's not going to hit me, and I'm going to do everything I can to educate myself and keep myself safe as well as others. And that's what I'm going to do. So mindset is you making a decision how you're going to handle a situation. But understand you're going to have your lows and you're going to have your highs. Just don't hang out in a low for too long.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We all need that type of advice. So in terms of giving your advice professionally, you have upcoming webinars on how to use Zoom strategically. I've already signed up. I'm going to be a Zoom master under the Zoom. So tell us about one or two of them, or how we can find out more depending on what level we want to connect with you.
Absolutely. Zoom like a boss. How do you like that, right? If you guys want to Zoom like a boss, like Dr. Sunny and myself, go to zoomlikeaboss.com, and I have several different options. If you don't know Zoom, or you're not as confident in your skills, I invite you to sign up for Zoom Basics. That's guys, I've made it very low because I'm trying to be sensitive of folks' budget. And that's very low. That's the cheapest training I'll ever do outside of it being free. I think it's $47. So if you go to zoomlikeaboss.com, you can sign up for Zoom Basics. If you're thinking, okay, I want some strategy, I want to know how to save time, make money, make Zoom my stage, make Zoom my employee, all these different things that I've done successfully, then there's Zoom Strategically, and that's the next level. And by the way, if you do sign up for Zoom Strategically, it comes with Zoom Basics. And there's other options. It would take too long for me to go through them all. If you have any questions about it, I would say email me at admin@mlpspeak.com. That's admin, ADMIN, at M, like Mary Louise Parker, speak.com. And here's my cheat sheet that I want to make sure you guys get. Again, go to zoomlikeaboss.com, and there's page all the way down, and you'll see something that says download my Zoom cheat sheet, and that will give you some of the things you can do right now in order to Zoom like a boss.
And any other ways that you want us to connect on social media?
Yes. If you're not there already, I do have a Facebook group, and you may say, well, Marquez, I just want to be around other Zoomsters. Then go to Zoom. I know I love domain names, right? Go to zoomtogrow.com. That's ZOOMTO grow.com. Go there. You can join my Facebook groups, and you'll be surrounded by other folks that are loving the heck out of Zoom. So hopefully, whether it's through my Zoom group or whether it's I want to get serious and Zoom like a boss, I can serve you. I'm so proud of you doing Dr. Sunny. Dr. Sunny is a Zoom master in Toastmaster world. So guys, let's do this. If this is our only way to connect for the time being, let's just leverage it. And if it's a game, if you're a business person, make it a game-changing tool. It's been amazing in my life for a number of years, and I just feel privileged to share that with everybody else. So zoomlikeaboss.com.
Zoomlikeaboss.com. I love it. And you've already talked about it, but you may want to add one or two things before I let you go. What makes you happy or gives you that hope during these challenging times?
Oh my goodness. I love that question. I think this forces us to really look at ourselves in the mirror of life and decide, ooh, have I lived my best life? you know. And it's funny, I'm quoting Oprah, who I had the privilege of seeing just a few months ago right here in New York City on her 2020 tour. And one of the things I took away, or that I was reminded of, is make every minute count. Oh my goodness, make every minute count. No one has a perfect life, not me. No one has a perfect life, but I want a life that I can leverage, a life that I can appreciate. And so when I get up in the morning, I try to just say, what am I grateful for? You know, thank you so much for waking me up. There's so many people that didn't wake up. Reach out to your family members. I drive my parents crazy. I mean, my sister had her 43rd birthday and she just insisted, you know, on a party, even though it was just our family members, fewer than 10. I was not happy with it. I'm like, please do whatever you can and stay safe. It's just not worth it, even for a birthday party. I want us to stay safe. So just stay safe, but do not, you have a choice. Don't watch the news all day. I like to stay informed, but I limit my TV viewing because it's going to just lead to depression. Stay informed and just leverage your life, because no one is promised tomorrow.
Amen. Leverage your life. And Marquesa Petway, Zoom Queen, we're leveraging Zoom thanks to you. So I appreciate you and stay safe.
Thank you, Dr. Sunny.
That's all the time we have on this edition of Rise and Shine with Dr. Sunny. Again, thank you to my guest, Marquesa Petway, for sharing how we can use Zoom to leverage our skills, our time, and our network. I continue to be blessed by your texts, your emails, and comments on social media to let me know you've been empowered by tips and resources to become a more confident speaker. If you enjoy our programs, if you haven't done so already, please consider making a donation of any amount at wytv7.org to help our CBN broadcasters continue the mission to bring you programming that educates, empowers, and encourages. You can also listen anytime to each episode of Rise and Shine by podcast on Spreaker, iHeart, Google, Spotify, and more. If you're not on social media, you can find all my shows and podcasts online at wytv7.org/rise-shine. Please like my Facebook page at facebook.com/iRiseandShine. You'll find tips to help you unleash your inner speaking superpowers, some you didn't even know you had. I look forward to helping you shine, rise above your speaking anxiety, rise above your fear, and rise to the challenge and opportunity to shine as a better communicator. As we continue to go through days filled with uncertainty, I'll borrow a tip we use in Toastmasters. As speakers, when we're uncertain, we use filler words, uhs, ahs, and ums, and we're reminded of the power of the pause. When we pause, it gives us a moment to get our next thoughts together. As you go throughout your day and you have anxious thoughts, practice the pause. When in doubt, pause. When angry, pause. When you're tired, pause. And when you pause, pray. Pray for me, I'll pray for you. God bless you. I'm Dr. Sunny. Remember, it's still your time to rise and shine.